They're going the wrong way. I think they're going Maui. Aloha everybody, Sean at Aloha Pigeons, and today will be the first time I'm training my 2018 young birds from the island of Molokai to the island of Oahu. Okay, this will be the 2018 young birds first release from the island of Molokai. 1, 2, 3. They're staying together really good. They are going the wrong direction. I think they're going Maui. Well, we'll see how many we got at the end of the day. Alright, so I just got home. I haven't seen yet. It's been about 3 hours since I released them in Molokai. So they should be home by now. Oh, that's killing me. I don't see a single bird. Empty. Oh. Well, I promised you I would show you the good and bad. So it's been about 3 hours since I let them go. Molokai. Well, shoot. Hopefully they're just flying around Molokai and they'll make the decision to come and cross the channel this afternoon. Okay, I just got back from lunch. It's 1 o'clock now, so that means it's been about 5 hours since the birds were released in Molokai. Let's see if any are back. I don't hear any. Oh, I see one. Okay, that's kind of that's sad. But the one that's back is not a young bird. So I released 54 birds this morning in Molokai, and 2 of those birds were old birds. So that's actually one of the old birds. And I put a GPS, Skyleader GPS tracking band on this bird, so at least we'll get to see where that bird was flying. Let's see if there's any others. Nope. That's actually kind of concerning because I was hoping the 2 old birds would at least help a little bit in showing the young birds the way back across the channel. So she flew back on her own. Well, while we wait, let's download the data from that SkyLeader GPS band. And this is the route of the old bird that returned today from our first off-island Molokai toss. And it did come back the first day, so we were able to see what route it took back to Oahu. It was released about 8 o'clock in the morning, or just after 8 o'clock in the morning, from the midpoint of Molokai. And you can see it flew this direction here. It did one big circle, and then it actually flew the wrong direction along the south shoreline of Molokai. Then it made the decision to turn around. Let's see. Right here it was at 62 meters off the surface of the water, and the speed was 1,612 meters per minute. And it was heading back, actually, a direction of 300. Came along the south shoreline of Molokai at 159 meters. Then it turned north. Looks like it stopped right here on the north shore of Molokai. Let's zoom in. Yep, looks like it landed right here on this shoreline right here, right on the lava rocks. That's interesting. Let's see, when it was on its way north, it was 9:23. So maybe about 9:30 it landed here. And then let's see what time it left. 10:14. So it stayed there from 9:30 to about 10:15. So about 45 minutes here on this coastline it landed. And then it took off. Let's see, it's at 8 meters along the coastline, 29 meters, 43, climbing in altitude. Yep, right around the north shore of Molokai. Here's where the cliff line starts to climb. So right now it's at 509 meters above that cliff line right there. And then it's continuing up to the mountaintop of Molokai. 636 meters, still climbing. 929 meters once it gets to the top of this mountain peak right here, 921 meters. And then it decides to turn and go west. And now that's the correct direction to the island of Oahu. And it starts to pick up speed, it looks like. 1,391 meters per minute as it descends, 861 meters, and it continues. Yep. And let's see what it does. As soon as I got to this high point right here, it just continued towards the northwest point of Molokai to cross the channel to Oahu. So maybe it got a view of Oahu when it was up here on this mountaintop. And let's see what altitude it's going to be. Wow. Let's see. 197 meters at this point, and then over the ocean, the next meter I can click on is 14 meters. So it dropped down pretty low. 27 meters, 40 meters, 43, 74, climbed up a little bit, 15 meters, descended. The speed is 1,647 meters per minute. So it's going pretty fast over the water. 81 meters off the ground, 147 meters. Oh wow. So 147 meters, it climbed up right here when it was over the channel, and then it descended back down to 9 meters. Still going 1,600 meters per minute, 30 meters high. Oh, that's an error on the altitude. Yeah, that's another error. Okay, this is an accurate altitude reading, 392 meters. So once it approached Oahu, it looks like it climbed up quite a bit. And the speed is actually higher now, 1,701 meters per minute. And it's interesting the path it took. So the wind is coming from the northeast. So if you follow my cursor, the wind is coming from this direction right here, coming down right to left. So it looks like the birds want to head into the wind a little bit. So crab into the wind a little bit instead of flying straight across. I think that might be a natural tendency for them. So the stronger the wind, maybe the further north they go, because it was pretty far north when it got close to Oahu. Right here is Sandy Beach, and that's its last release point right here where the cursor is. So it came up from the north. And let's see what altitude it was at. 223 meters as it went over Coco Head Crater, past Sandy's, through Coco Marina. 286 meters, 1,080 meters per minute, slowing down quite a bit. 286 meters still. Went up in speed a little bit, 1,747 meters per minute, but still pretty high at 270 meters. Descending, starting to descend 233, descended a lot to 135, following the south shoreline of Oahu, 140 and 167 as it approached the entrance to Pearl Harbor. And back to the loft. Let's see what it was over the entrance of Pearl Harbor. 75 meters and 1530 meters per minute. So this old bird had already done this route last year, flown this route last year. This bird actually also flew the route from Maui. So that was interesting. You know, it did fly around both the south shoreline and north shoreline of Molokai before it made the decision to cross the channel. Now, I don't know if it was with the young birds because I only had 2 Skyleader GPS bands attached to 2 birds on this training toss, and the other one didn't come home, so I'm still waiting for that bird. But if it does, we'd be able to compare where the birds were flying, either they were together or not. So I don't know, it's fairly interesting. I thought it was fairly interesting how low they fly over the ocean as well as how far north they fly, and how maybe getting to a higher altitude allowed it to see Oahu. And another thing, another flyer pointed out to me is that the wind may have played a factor. So on a windy day, like it was pretty windy, about 25 miles per hour, maybe gusts a little stronger, maybe the birds fly a little lower. They don't fly as high as they would on a calm day. So if they fly lower, maybe they don't get the same vantage point and the view of the island of Oahu. So maybe that played a factor. Maybe I should pay more attention to the wind the day I release them off island and try and pick a day that has less wind. I don't know, that was just one observation that I thought was fairly interesting. Well, it's about almost 5:30 in the afternoon now, and we have one more bird that came back. And of course, just got back now, so that's about 9 hours since I let it go this morning. And that is the second old bird. So the 2 birds that came back are actually from the 2017 season last year. They had already been to Molokai and Maui last year. And unfortunately, they couldn't get the young birds for this year, the 2018 season young birds, to follow them back from Molokai today. There's still maybe about another hour or 2 of daylight here, so hopefully we'll have more coming back, but I don't know, it might be tomorrow. I just hope we have some come back, because otherwise my season's over. It's amazing that none of the young birds came back. So the distance for this flight from my release point in Molokai today to my loft is 60 miles. Previous to this, they've only been going 20 miles to the east shore of Oahu, so it is kind of a big jump, maybe in terms of distance, 20 miles to 60 miles, but the major factor, I think, is the fact they have to cross an ocean channel that they've never done before. Well, as you can see, the sun has since set, and unfortunately we still only have the 2 old birds that I had with the young birds that returned today from the Molokai toss. So out of the 54 birds we released today in Molokai, 2 of which were old birds, we are missing all 52 young birds. I wish I had better news to share with you. I am very shocked that none of them came back today. Last year, my 2017 young birds, I had 25, and I didn't lose a single bird on the first Molokai training toss. In fact, every single bird came back except one. One bird came back the next day. So 24 out of 25 birds last year came back on the first day. This year, I don't know what to tell you. The weather is fine. It's a little windy, but not too bad. You can see in the route that from the GPS Sky Leader band that I showed you, you could see that they did, that bird in particular, did fly a little farther north. Maybe that had to do with the wind as it was crossing the channel. I don't know. But for whatever reason, these two old birds couldn't draw the young birds to make that crossing over the Ki'iwi Channel. I don't know. I mean, I'll think on it more. If you guys have any thoughts on why I had such a poor return today, let me know. The birds were definitely healthy. They already went through a round, this is about a month ago, they already went through a round of antibiotics, canker medication, dewormed them. So the birds were healthy. The droppings were better than I've ever seen before. The birds' droppings were perfect. Not watery at all, tight, with feathers on it, down feathers on it. They were very good health. And they weren't as heavy as the birds last year too. They seemed like they're in much better shape. I wasn't overfeeding this year. So I really don't know. When I released them, I mean, they were a nice tight flock. I think they were in fine shape. So I really don't know what it is. But you know, I'll think on it. I'll think on it. If you have any ideas, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Let me know. If anybody tells you it's easy racing young birds in Hawaii, don't believe them. But I'm still hopeful that I'll get some birds back tomorrow. And make sure to subscribe to see if I do get any birds back. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Sean, aloha pigeons. Aloha.